So Dana White announced a bunch of fights on Instagram. He made his announcement like fuck knows, like 8 hours, 9 hours before he did it. People thought it was like an April Fool's prank, but he ended up breaking that Khalil Roundtree versus Jamal Hill is off the Kansas City card. It's going to be rebooked hopefully soon. I've heard Azerbaijan's an option, but we'll see what ends up happening with that fight. But Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. What a interesting matchup this is going to be. Neither of these guys was scheduled for this card, so they're both taking a short notice fight here. I mean, Prates was booked for Miami, but obviously Jeff Neal had to pull out. And this is a big opportunity against a guy like Ian Machado Garry, who was in a number one contender shot against Shavkat Rakhmonov, where he didn't look bad. Like he won 2 rounds against Shavkat, and everyone was acting like Shavkat Rakhmonov is this unbeatable demon, but Ian Garry made him look human, almost subbed him. So this should be a really interesting fight between Prates and Garry. And I feel like Prates is going to be the favorite, but I actually think Ian Machado Garry will probably win this. Maybe I'll change my opinion before the fight happens. I can see Prates knocking out Ian Garry, like flatlining out cold, but that's the only way I see him winning. I don't think Garry has the greatest chin. Yeah, he took a big shot by Shavkat in that fight, and maybe people are going to say he's got a great chin now, but I will always remember Song Kanan dropping him. That's just going to live in my head anytime he fights a power puncher. And obviously, Prates is just much better than Song Kanan. But Garry has improved a lot. His grappling is actually very underrated part of his game. He used it against MVP. He used it against Shavkat Rakhmonov. So the guy can grapple. I think he will probably grapple here. But, I've spoken to some of my friends. And, like, one of my friends thinks that this is, like, a complete one-sided fight if it stays on the feet. I actually disagree. I think Ian Garry can definitely be competitive on the feet with Carlos Prates. I don't think this is like a one-way domination if it stays on the feet. I think Prates has very bad striking defense. I think he's very hittable. And especially with the cardio, I think Ian Garry's going to have much better cardio than Prates. I mean, Prates smokes 15 cigarettes a day. He could go into this fight compromised with lung cancer, and that's not even a joke. Like, the man smokes fucking way too much for a professional athlete. Like, maybe a lot of fighters do smoke and they just don't flex it, like Prates does, but the guy is just an alcoholic, and he's like a pack-a-day smoker, man. Like, he's smoking that much. Like, you got to think his cardio, his body's going to be weaker. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just, like, overthinking this, but, like, surely the body work from Ian Garry is going to really be paid dividends here against a guy who's battering his liver and his lungs every day, pretty much. It seems like this guy's just always drinking, always partying. But who knows? Maybe he's just somehow going to have insane cardio. I mean, a lot of the Thai guys just chew and smoke, and they've got cardio for days. So, it's not impossible Prates has good cardio, but you just got to think his cardio's going to be somewhat compromised, surely. But regardless, I'm going to go Ian Garry just based off my early prediction. Maybe by the time this fight comes, which isn't that far away to be fair, the 26th of April. So that's 25 days away or something like that. Not that crazy when you think about it. So who knows? Prates, he's been in camp for Jeff Neal. He's still been smoking. There's still videos of him smoking. Ian Garry, who knows what he's prepared for, how prepared he is, etc., etc. I heard there was like a rumor it could have been Buckley stepping in for this fight against Prates, but, it ends up being Garry. Garry, you got to respect him, yeah. People might not like him. He can be a bit weird. He can be a bit annoying, sure. But the guy's got balls. I mean, all fighters have balls, but Ian Machado Garry, he's fucking stepping up here again. He didn't have to step up against Shavkat Rakhmonov, but he did it. He doesn't have to step up here against Carlos Prates, but he's doing it. So you got to respect it. Guy obviously really wants to prove that he's a company man. He wants to prove that he's one of the best in the world, and he's doing it. He's showing it. So you got to respect that. But I will go Ian Machado Garry to get this one done over Carlos Prates. But this is just an early prediction. Maybe I'll break it down and I'll have different thoughts. Then we have Sean O'Malley versus Merab Devashishvili. One of the stupidest bookings. Merab's going to win. But who knows? Maybe maybe Merab's got one of those styles where it's sort of difficult the first time he fight him, but maybe in rematches Merab's going to do bad. Like I think this is the first rematch Merab has had, so that maybe that is the case. Who knows? Maybe Merab just folds in rematches. I mean, look at Sean Strickland. He's got one of those styles where first time you fight him, yeah, it's a bit like tricky. Everything's a bit weird. But Dricus Duplessis showed that in the rematch that he really just figured his style out and dominated Sean Strickland for 5 rounds. Who knows? Maybe we get something like that here, uh, where the matchup was a bit closer the first time. Obviously, Dricus did beat Strickland the first time too, but the competitiveness disappeared after he got used to his style. Maybe that happens for this one, but I highly doubt. I think Merab's probably just gonna like take him down a few times. Maybe have some close calls where he gets hurt to the body or something like that. Maybe O'Malley's gonna go real hard with the teeps to the body because he did have Merab really badly hurt in that fifth round. So maybe we get something similar like that again. But I am gonna pick Merab to get Sean O'Malley out of there. Also, we had Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena booked for the same card. I'm gonna go with Kayla Harrison. I know she didn't look amazing in her last fight, but like I don't even think Juliana Pena beat Raquel Pennington. And I think Kayla Harrison can really just maul her. She's gonna have a physicality advantage, so I'm gonna go Kayla Harrison in that fight. And then we also had Alexander Volkov versus Jailton Almeida booked. Obviously, Volkov's coming off that robbery loss to Cyril Gahn, where he quite clearly won. Like that is actually crazy that they gave that fight to Cyril Gahn because like Volkov just clearly won that fight. It still annoys me to this day, but I actually like Swolkov here. I think Volkov can actually chin Almeida. Like Almeida's looking less impressive. Yeah, he's still beating like Sergey Spivak and all these guys, but he's starting to his physicality is starting to weigh a little bit. He's fighting a lot more of these better guys. I think Volkov is going to be much heavier. He is Swolkov. He's been known for his takedown defense. He's powerful. I think Almeida is going to shoot on him, and I think Volkov will stuff it. And then I think Almeida is going to panic a little bit, maybe go a little bit crazy. Like he didn't look that impressive against Spivak. Like he was getting pieced up from memory, got reversed a few times. I think Volkov, if he ends up on Almeida, Almeida's not getting back up, and I think he's just going to get TKO'd. But on the feet, I think Volkov could just knock him out cold because I think Almeida's got one of the worst chins. Not one of the worst chins, but he's got a very sus chin. He's been knocked out before. I picked Blades to knock him out, and I think he's just not got a great chin, especially at heavyweight. You're like your chin's not even that good. You're moving up against these heavy hitters. Volkov's a heavy hitter, very technical, good cardio. Actually got technique for a heavyweight. Has takedown defense, good takedown defense. I think Volkov will get this one done over Almeida. But yeah, those are just like my thoughts on some of these announced matchups. Also, Kai Kara France versus Pantoja seems like it's been moved to UFC 317, June 26th, I think the date was. That fight's just been moved around so many fucking times. There's no point even talking about it again. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in there because Kai Kara France put up a post like 6 days ago talking about how he's got a fight 12 weeks away, which would be the International Fight Week card. But anyway, yeah, that's all I've got to say. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and peace out, and have a good rest of your days. Or good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Adios.